Hi, my name is Tamara, and you are watching Things Even a Monkey Should Know. Hello, hello! Thank you so much for joining me again today. As you know, if you've watched some of my other videos, I'm not a professional anything except artist, but I have figured out that there are quite a few things around the house and out in the yard and on my cars that I can do myself, usually save myself time, money, and aggravation. So hopefully you have learned from what I have done and you've saved those things now too, especially the aggravation part. So today we're going to look at replacing the air filters in an air conditioner. Now, I know we've covered this really briefly in the spring, one of the spring cleaning episodes, but there are a few things that I have learned about filters since I moved to this house that I think would be pretty helpful to you too. So you remember the olden days of having a return air in the wall and you had a little 1-inch thick filter that was, say, blue fiberglass strands, didn't really do a whole lot. Well, today we have a lot more options, and we have filters that have what's called a MERV rating, which is like minimum efficiency requirement value, I think, or reporting value. I don't remember. The main thing that is important for us to remember is the numbers. So the lower the MERV number, the less stuff is going to filter out of your air. The higher the MERV number, the more stuff is going to filter out. So if you have an allergy sufferer or you have pets, you know, you constantly have pet dander and hair in the air, the higher the rating, the better the air quality is going to be. Now, if you're using a 1-inch air filter, you're having to change that filter pretty often if you have a high rated filter, like probably about every 30 days, every 30 to 45. So there are options now. You can get a 4-inch filter, and you can't just get this and shove it into your 1-inch return air. You do have to have your system altered for it. But if you have an allergy sufferer or you have a ton of pets and you're having a lot of issues with dust and allergies and things like that, a 4-inch may be the way to go. So you can actually get higher MERV rated filters in 4-inch than you can in 1-inch. And if you have a 4-inch, you actually don't have to change them as often, because you see how deep the folds are in this? Well, that means that you have about 5 times, I believe it's about 5 times, the air catching or air filtering capacity on this as you do on a 1-inch, which means that you are not going to have to change it nearly as often. So we're talking 3 to 6 months instead of 30 to 45 days. And it will make any allergy sufferers in your home, and I don't care if you have pets or don't have pets, it will make any allergy sufferers breathe so much more easily. Now, the other option that we're looking at here is a return air in the ceiling, and it is made to be a traditional 1-inch return air. Now, you do have the option with some of the sizes of 1-inch return airs of getting this special filter, which is pretty awesome, that has a 20 by 20 by 1-inch deep opening, I guess, or anyways, the front piece is that, and then you have an additional 2-inch box stuck on the back of it, so you actually wind up with 3 inches of filter depth. So that means that, again, you don't have to change this one as often, because it has deeper folds, or folds to catch more dust and dirt on, and it's going to filter the air a little bit better too, because we can get that higher rating and we have more room to filter the air. And we still are fitting into the traditional 1-inch thick opening. So I am going to go ahead and show y'all changing these out, just because they are a little bit unusual. This one changes out just like a regular little filter. It is looking pretty gross, but not as gross actually as I thought. So that's, I don't think I held those in the right place. There we go. Pretty gross, but not as gross as I thought it would. So See, that's just the traditional 1-inch lip. I'm gonna go ahead and I'll have to tape that edge that is damaged, but I'm gonna go ahead and just pop this in there and see. But we are able to get this into that traditional opening, and we now have more filter power because of it. So I'm also showing you guys installing the 4-inch thick filter just because it's different, and because there's no telling actually if you have one of these already, it may or may not be installed close to your unit. Now, because this is up like right beside the heater and it's cold right now and the heat's been coming on a lot, I turn the heater off because I don't want it to pop on and scare me, number one, but also the way that this fits in there, if this thing's trying to suck air in while I'm trying to change it, we're kind of going to be fighting with each other, and I don't really want to do that. Now, I happen to know that the last brand that I got was a perfect 4 inches, so it was really, really hard to get in here. So I got a different brand this time that is like 3 3/4 inches, so that I'm not having to fight to get this out. So I'm gonna make sure in there that there is nothing left. So I think most of my fight was here at this front edge. Now, with the other filter that I showed you, there's no doubt about which direction it goes in. With this one, make sure that you find the airflow directional arrow, and make sure that you install it where the air flows the correct way. So this one, look at that one just slides right in and it'll slide right out, which is great because I actually prefer to be able to come up and check these and see, see if it's time to replace them yet. So I just put that in there, and that is all you have to do to replace it. And then we're going to go downstairs, and we are definitely going to turn the heat back on because it is pretty chilly today. So I kid you not, whenever I first moved into this house, I really thought I was going to die because every morning I would wake up and I just felt like my head was about this big and my eyes were swollen. I couldn't breathe, and it was so miserable. And the first thing that I did was check on the filter, and in that case, there was no filter at all, which is not what you want to do, because along with not filtering any junk out of the air, you're going to wind up with an air handler that is clogged with all the dirt that sticks to it, and so your air conditioner and heater are going to fail fairly quickly. So don't do that. That is an expensive thing to do. Don't do it. So I put in an air filter, and then we got the system changed out to have that 4-inch deep or 4-inch thick filter, and it made a huge difference for me. So for the most part, I can breathe now. Now, Jack, my dog, he contributes a little bit of dander, but he's so sweet. Who cares? I can live through that. So I hope that this helped you learn a little bit about air filters today and some of the options that you have available. I really think that the one that is 1 inch thick around the face, so that it fits into a traditional return air that has the thicker back, I think that one's really cool because it gives you it basically gives you the thicker filter without having to change out the return air. So that's an option too. Anyway, I hope this helps you, especially if you're an allergy sufferer, and even if you're not, maybe you'll be able to tell somebody else about it. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please go ahead and do that, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.